Guys, welcome back to Hoops Junction. Today is a sad day, especially for the Houston Rockets. I do not know what they were thinking firing Kevin McHale. Kevin McHale led the Houston Rockets to back-to-back 50-win seasons. And on top of that, he led the Houston Rockets to the Western Conference Finals. And they chose to fire his ass. Oh, man. That has to be the most idiotic thing I've heard all week. Just because the team started out 4-7, you want to fire the head coach. When clearly the issues with the players did not want to defend. The only reason why the Rockets started out 4-7 is because the players could not play defense. Dwight Howard was not doing anything. James Harden was not defending. If you look at all their analytics, you will see that their plus minus in defense is negative. Almost all the starters on the Rockets have a negative impact defensively on their team. They're not sliding their feet. They're not communicating. And instead of dealing with the issue with the players, the general manager, Daryl Morey, chose to fire Kevin McHale, which absolutely makes no sense. If you look at the progression of the Houston Rockets, they're progressing in the right way. You know, they had a 50-win season. They lost to Portland in that first round. Next season, guess what they do? They go all the way to the Western Conference Finals, and you choose to fire them. How does that make any sense? Kevin McHale engineered one of the greatest comebacks by the Houston Rockets were down 3-1, and they came back. I think it was game 2 or 3. They came back with James Harden on the bench. So that's all I have to say. They came back with James Harden on the bench, 20-point deficit, fourth quarter, and James Harden never came back into the game, and the Rockets won the game. I mean, what else do you want? Kevin McHale's coaching is on point. Now I'm going to tell you why he got fired. Kevin McHale got fired because there was obviously a difference in philosophy. He got fired in order to save analytics in Houston. Daryl Morey strictly built his team based on analytics. He was hoping that Kevin McHale would adopt that same mind frame and mindset and say, hey, you know, we're just going to go by the numbers. We'll do everything by the numbers. Somewhere, somehow, in the interim, there became a rift. There had to become a rift because Kevin McHale's from the old school where if you have a Dwight Howard, you want to go more post plays. You want to run more set plays. Daryl Morey and his team's philosophy was if we run up and down the court and we shoot X amount of threes, we will win the game because we'll make a certain amount of shots. And somewhere, somehow, that got misconstrued. You know, that's just the bottom line of it. They want a puppet. They want somebody that they could tell what to do, when to do it, and how to do it. Kevin McHale is not that guy. So for them to think that Kevin McHale was going to just go ahead and go along with, okay, we're just going to jack up a whole bunch of threes, but we have one of the best big men, supposedly one of the best big men in the NBA, and not use them, I mean, that's not smart. I mean, the guy was every day coaching Dwight Howard on post moves to use. You know, like, in my opinion, Kevin McHale did a phenomenal job, especially with the crap he had to deal with. I mean, Patrick Beverley was injured. He's been injured the past couple seasons. Dwight Howard has been in and out of the lineup. You know, torn labrum, strained this, strained that, shoulder problems. They have no bench. They have no bench whatsoever. They just got Ty Lawson. And at the end of the day, that's pretty much like the best thing that's happened to him since he's been there, that they got Ty Lawson. He had to deal with it, getting Josh Smith, which we all know about Josh Smith. He jacks up threes, he doesn't listen, and he's a hothead. You know, he's a hothead on the court. I'm sorry. Whoever likes him, you know, I'm sorry for you. When he left Detroit, they got better. So what I'm strictly trying to tell you is he took lemons, squeezed them, and made lemonade. I mean, this guy really got the most out of his team. And you choose to fire him because they start out 4-7. Let's talk about the players. They're giving up 100 points every contest. I don't think there's not one contest they played where they haven't given up 100 points. That's not on Kevin McHale. That's on effort. You can't coach effort, ladies and gentlemen. You can't coach it. You could try to motivate the players how much you want. You could try to talk to them how much you want. Kevin McHale had heart-to-hearts with these guys. Nothing was working because it's the players. They wanna run the asylum. And instead of noticing that, Daryl Morey up and fires the coach 11 games into the season. How smart is that? It's ridiculous. And it's a poor showing on management. It shows that they think that someone like a James Harden or Dwight Howard knows more about basketball than Kevin McHale. Just in case you forgot, Kevin McHale won 3 championships with the Boston Celtics. Kevin McHale has coached in other positions, so he knows what it takes to win, ladies and gentlemen. And for them to fire him, it's a shame. It's a mockery. I mean, it's disgusting. It's really disgusting. It really shows you that, the inmates are running the asylum when it comes to basketball. The players, they come in and they say this or that, or they just don't perform well, and the coaches pay for it. And it's really, really sad. That I heard that there was a rift between James Harden and Kevin McHale. First of all, James Harden has no room to speak. He's shooting like 16% from the 3. His defense is atrocious. He does the playground reach around every single time. But you want to have a rift between Kevin McHale? No, play better. Show up more. Be stronger. You too, Dwight Howard. Play better. Show up. Show the guys what you have to do. Ty Lawson, I'm sorry you just got there. I'm going to pick on you. You little, so you're easy to pick on. Play better. Don't put that on Kevin McHale. The guy has shown, hey, his resume speaks for itself in Houston. Back-to-back 50-win seasons, Western Conference Finals appearance. His resume is solid to me. It's the player's resume that's not solid. It's Dwight Howard's resume that's not solid. Every time it's a big game, he can't hit free throws. It's James Harden that's not solid for me. When it's time to play lockdown defense, he doesn't do it. Those are the things that Daryl Morey had to question, and instead he fired his coach. Just to show that my system works. My system works. You're just not implementing my system the way you want it to be run. When Kevin McHale was having all these heart-to-hearts with the players, he really needed the full support of the organization. And judging by how they let him go with 11 games into the season, he had no support. And honestly, all it would take was a 5-game winning streak, which they could have did easily, and they'll be right back in the mix in the West. Because it's still early. But they just were being idiotic. It makes absolutely no sense. You fire a good coach, and it's really not for any particular reason. Like, when you look at the Scott Brooks getting fired, you can see why he was getting fired, because they went to the NBA Finals. Then the next year they went a little lower. Then the next year they got knocked out a little lower. So eventually you saw that it was coming. Their offense didn't have a lot of imagination. He wasn't running a lot of plays for other people. And the team wasn't growing. But in terms of Kevin McHale, like what he's done, in 2 years what he's done, it makes absolutely no sense. It's not like they had like a 20-62 season, then they went well, then it's not like the Knicks up and down. Like, they could be consistently good, especially in the Western Conference. I mean, what more do you want? What more can you ask? But apparently, what they want is they want more threes, they want more analytics, and they want less coaching. And Kevin McHale is not going to be about that. He's going to coach. He's going to talk to his players. He's going to hold them accountable. And in today's society, that doesn't fly with the young superstars. That doesn't fly. A lot of young players, they can't take criticism. They can't take people saying something to them like, you need to play better. You need to play better defense. You need to be a better leader. They can't take that. So what do? They whine the management about what's going on. They don't like this. They don't like that. They don't like this. At the end of the day, when I used to play basketball, whatever complaints, even the best player on the team, he said something that the coach didn't like. The coach looks at him like this: "Hey, there's the door over there. Go ahead, walk out. I don't care." They used to say, "I don't give a F," and tell them to get out the gym easily. It didn't matter who you were. But now, I guess in the NBA, it's a players' league, as you expect. The players get more power, but In terms of this, I mean, there really was no reason for it. There really was no reason for his firing besides saving face, that for the simple fact that their system isn't working. And you will see for the Rockets, as they continue and they search for new coaches, they'll continue to look for coaches that implement their, I'm going to shoot this by this amount of seconds. I need this amount of threes. I need this fast breaks. They don't have a traditional offense. They don't have really good sets. And part of the reason they don't have really good sets is just the system that they run. The system that they run doesn't allow them to get into sets. Their overall problem was defense, which is just effort. Defense is effort. I'm pretty sure there was a scheme that McHale wanted to implement, but he can't implement it if they have to rush down the court, jack up a three. I mean, the problem with shooting a lot of threes for teams is transition. You're giving up long rebounds. And once that happens, if the floor is not balanced, you're screwed. You're completely screwed. And this is what happened. They got completely screwed. They were upset. James Harden has not been as hot as he used to be last year. Ty Lawson's not as hot. He's getting acclimated. And Dwight Howard, of course, we all know about Dwight Howard. He can't dominate. I don't know what it is with the guy. He has one ugly left jump hook, whatever it is. He cannot dominate. I don't know what it is. He'll let players like Draymond Green push him out the box. Last year in the playoffs, you saw Stephen Curry out rebound. Getting underneath them and rebounding on them. You would never see that with Shaq. Shaq would be like, boy, get your little self out of here. But that's how it is, man. So, like, in today's society, in today's NBA, these coaches aren't safe. Doesn't matter what you do. It doesn't matter how well you work. If you cannot meet that fine line between management and your players, then you're screwed. It's like they have no autonomy. They can't do anything. The only coach that really gets to coach nowadays is Greg Popovich. That's about it. Everybody else is just, they're pretty much screwed over. Like, you gotta do what the GM says, or you gotta do what the players say. There's never we're following what the coach says. It's never none of that. And you could tell that McHale was getting tired of this crap. He was getting tired of dealing with the players and then tired of dealing with the management that showed no support and wanted them to coddle these young guys. I mean, you young guys, you're making millions of dollars and you want people to coddle you. There's people that go to work 60 hours a week, 70 hours a week. They don't get coddled. The management doesn't come down and say, talks to the supervisor, hey, you need to lay off him. Yeah, you need to. They don't do any of that. But for some reason, there's an exemption for you guys, and it's showing because starting out 4-7 after coming back from the Western Conference Finals, that's all your fault, players. That's all your fault. James Harden, Dwight Howard, all you guys, that's all your fault. That's not his fault. That's your fault. Giving up 100 points, that's all your fault. Shooting 16% from the field, that's your fault. It's not his. And it's sad that he had to pay for it. But, ladies and gentlemen, Kevin McHale, he's a beloved guy in the NBA. I'm pretty sure he'll find a job right away. But make no mistakes about it. This wasn't about Kevin McHale being a poor coach. This wasn't about a beef between him and James Harden. This was just pretty much Houston Rockets upper management saving face for their analytics, which is not going to work. Analytics don't win games. Coaching and execution wins games. All right, well, this is Vladimir from Hoops Junction. Like, comment, and subscribe. Peace.